What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our Midday Motivations. My name is Derek Herbert, lead pastor of Revive Church, and it's my goal in the next 10 minutes to help give you something to bite into the rest of your day. I know whether it went good this morning or bad, I do not care. I really just want from this point on to be able to start the rest of your day off on the right foot. And what many different people talk about, the best time for you to invest is 10 years ago. The second best time for you to invest is right now. And so whether you started this morning doing what you wanted to do or not, I pray that right now is the moment for you to make that decision to make it your day, not have the day make you. So today, I got a word this morning while I was at the gym listening to some YouTube videos, and it just stuck into my head. This insecurity comes from uncertainty, and the total opposite of security is insecurity. And insecurity comes from, and is this emotion, it is this feeling, it is this sense of I have no idea, or whatever it may be. Oh, I really like whatever you just did, Miranda, how you made this happen. What's up, Dave and Miranda watching here? Because I can see all the comments on the screen. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it on my screen. But either way, we're going to dive right into this thing because I truly want to dive in and beat up this insecurity thing. Beat up this idea of I'm not enough. Beat up this notion of lack of confidence, this lack of ability. I don't even try because I don't have the ability to move forward. And so I've always failed in the past. So why would I try to move forward now? And I want to speak to especially young people out there, not just young people. I'm talking about young fathers, young mothers, but those who are in the next phase of their life, where your kids are up and gone, and you're wondering what's the next step for me. Because a lot of times what can happen is when you're not established or secure in the season that you were in, a lot of uncertainty will creep in, which will bring and breed more insecurity in your life. But when you're in a season of your roots are down deep, you're confident in what you're doing, there is less insecurity that comes at you because you are certain about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and how to get it done. But when you get into a situation or a realm where you are uncertain about what job to take, what to say, a relationship that needs to be reconciled, that brings in a lot of insecurity because I lack the wisdom and I lack the what's the word I'm looking for? I lack the I'm totally lost with the word that I'm looking for. I just got it. I have to say it. I lack the knowledge to be able to make this decision to go forward. And because you're uncertain about what you're about to do, think, or say, it brings in more insecurity. A lot of times what you can see is when you step into a new situation, a job interview that you've never had before, a meeting, a boardroom that you've never been into before, you're the first one to go to church, you're the first time to step into this new job. But for every time something is new, you're uncertain about how it's going to go. When I was playing sports, I was always uncertain. But when I finally got into my senior year, junior and senior year, I finally had some years behind me, some experience. That's the word I was looking for. Some experience behind me. And so because I was certain about what I was stepping into, my insecurity left. And so within what I'm trying to talk to you about today is insecurity stems from me not being certain about what I'm doing. So today, what I wanted to do is speak to that uncertainty so you can bring some security into your life. Now, when you're dealing with insecurity that is based from uncertainty, what I want you to do is go back to the source in order to get the certainty. And when you get the certainty from the source, the security in what you're doing will be there. Now, in Joshua, I've been binge reading Joshua all throughout our vacation back from Maine. Holla back, so much fun. I had a great time with the family, and now we are back in business, and I feel recharged and ready, even though it's been one thing after another in my brain. What I wanted to do today was just to teach you a little bit of something, how I deal with uncertainty and insecurity. So in order for us to deal with insecurity, we have to find surety, we have to find certainty. And the only way for you to get back that certainty is to go back to the source of certainty. In the book of Joshua, which I read all last week, I read through it over and over and over again, we can see God meeting Joshua in Joshua chapter 1, saying, being strong and of good courage. And he says it again, be strong and of good courage. He was telling Joshua, what you are about to do, You need to remain strong and being of good courage. It may be uncertain what you're going to do tomorrow, but I need you to be certain of this one thing: be strong and of good courage. I know the battle that you're about to face, the battle of Jericho, is going to be different from the battle of Ai. The battle of Ai is going to be different from the battle of the Ammonites. The battle of Ammonites is going to be different than this and that and this and that. And how you battle one king is going to be different than how you battle 5 kings. But the first thing that God tells Joshua after he's about to go in and conquer 33 different kings, it was so funny. Like I was listening to in these AirPods here. They're faux pods. They're not AirPods. They're faux pods. They're $20 from Walmart, and they're great, by the way. And so I was listening to it, but when I turn the car on, it'll hook to the car and start playing. Well, I'm loading kids up. Weston was already in the car, and I'm moving stuff around while Cassie was getting the rest of the bags for the beach packed. And it continues to play Joshua. And as you know, Joshua is a bloody, bloody book. And there's a lot of war. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of killing. And there's a lot of conquering through killing. And Weston, after listening to it for a minute or so, says, "Wow, Dad, there's a lot of killing in this book." And I had to explain it to him and walk him through it. But every time he went into battle, there was a certain amount of uncertainty that he had to face. But the number one thing God told him before the 33 kings were even mentioned, he told him, be strong and of good courage. Be strong and of good courage. And so this is where I want you to stand right now in this moment. You may not know how you're going to defeat your Jericho. You may not know how you're going to conquer your Ai. And maybe even, like if you read through the first couple chapters of Joshua, you'll find out that they walked around the walls of Jericho. They walked around them, guys, for 7 days. And on the 7th day, they finally shouted. And as they shouted, the walls that were designed to keep them out, God used as a ramp to get them in. As Torrin Wells says in a song, I forget the name of the song, but Never Lost. And so that is the beauty of the battle. However, they were uncertain until they heard the word of the Lord and what they were supposed to do. Number one, God said, be strong and of great courage. And number two, listen for his instruction. So when they went into Jericho, they heard their battle instruction was to walk around the wall 7 times. And on the 7th day, they were going to conquer it. All right. They didn't know what to do or how it was going to be conquered. But they were told that it was going to be conquered. So be strong and of good courage. And when they went to battle Ai, the next city, it was a much smaller city, less fortified. They sent up their men to attack it without inquiring of the Lord. And they were beat. They were taken out. Now, the question is, sometimes we lose battles because we did not take the time to inquire from the Lord. And so I want to bring to you this insecurity that you are feeling from the failure that just happened has come because you didn't get certainty from God to step into that battle. The minute that they rose up and they cried out to God and they if they set their affections on him, they heard what was wrong in the camp and why Ai defeated them. And when they corrected the failure, when they corrected what needed to be course corrected, they got word from the Lord as to how they were going to take on Ai, and they took on Ai and got the territory. Now, I want to tell you this because whether it is a city that you're trying to conquer or a relationship that you're trying to heal, a business that you're trying to start, or a political race that you want to win, whatever it may be, always, number one, learn from Joshua and how God taught Joshua. Number one, be strong and of good courage. You need to be certain that you are called by God to conquer that territory. If you have uncertainty of what territory you are called to conquer, you need to go back to the source, God, reach out to him and say, God, is this where you want me to be? And when you get certainty from that point, you need to have certainty that God is going to deliver you every single time. It may come out as a failed battle, but when you stay in the fight, you will win the war. And when you sense yourself dealing with an uncertainty, you just lost a battle with Ai. You just lost a battle with addiction. You just fell back into the pornography, whatever it may be. You're finding all of this uncertainty. Am I really called to worship God? Like, is there really a God out there anyway? Like, why are all these things happening to me? And uncertainty brings in insecurity, and insecurity brings on all sorts of different things. All sorts of different things. Every time I see somebody stray away from the church, that's when their life goes downhill. And they resort to things that the world gives them that are temporary and give you more uncertainty, which brings more insecurity, which leads you down another self-medicating path of uncertainty and insecurity, uncertainty and insecurity. Now, what you need to do is go back to the source and say, God, is this where I need to be, or do I need to make a course correction? And when you get the certainty from God, you hear that word from him, it will build security in what you're trying to do. And I promise you, you may not feel it all the time, but you will fight harder, you will fight stronger, you will fight longer, and you will win way more battles when you dedicate yourself to two things: remaining strong and courageous, reminding yourself to be strong and courageous, and number two, inquire of God. What that really means is, God, what do you say about this situation? What do you say? Like, you can call this person. I'll tell you this. I've called 3 different people this morning just to talk to them. Mentors, friends of mine. Not a single one of them has answered the phone call yet. Does that mean I need to be tripped up because someone didn't answer the phone call? Does that mean I need to fall apart just because someone didn't answer my text? No, because I know someone who will never leave me or forsake me. My security doesn't lie in those people that I call. It doesn't, not a bit, not at all. Like, they'll call me back eventually when they have time, but I know that there's other things that they need to do. But I know God is infinite, awesome, almighty, and will never leave me or forsake me. So you guess what? Jeremiah 33:3 did. Call unto me, God says, and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things that you don't even know. So I want to encourage you in that. When you're dealing with insecurity because of uncertainty, you're fine. Call me, call your regroup leader, call somebody. But the number one thing you need to do is cry out to God. Find the certainty in where you're at from him. And then remember, he will never leave you or forsake you. And number two, you need to be strong and courageous by trusting in him. When you do that, I promise you, your insecurity will turn into security. And I wanted to say so much more about this, but I really just went down a tangent. I believe that was the word for somebody. Like, what I wanted to say, I believe that word was for me. And maybe I'll even talk more about insecurity and security tomorrow. But I just wanted to do this. At the end of today's midday, just shout out to my entire staff, to our entire dream team, to my brother Sean for bringing an amazing message yesterday. Was absolutely phenomenal. Holding down the fort so my wife and I could go and spend some time together, and excited to be back to work. Got some amazing things planned for this week, and can't wait to get back at it. So I love you guys. Thank you so very much. Do me a favor, please hit the share button. Someone needs to hear this message. Someone needs to find certainty, which would lead to security. And I want to be a part of helping you make that happen. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Miranda. And everybody else who's watching this, whose names I can't not see. And I just want to encourage you, if you've been separated for any period of time, get back together with your church family. Do it. Do it now. Do it proud. Because let me tell you, I know Sean quoted me yesterday, but I seriously have never seen a fruitful. What that means is one who is bearing more fruit, one who is being reproductive and productive. I've never seen a Christian do that alone. I've never done it alone. Honestly, left to my own devices, I'm a sloppy mess. But I've got an amazing family behind me. I got an amazing mentorship above me. And I got an amazing God who's carrying me. And I promise you, when you cry out to him, he will constantly, every single time, give back to you. Hello, Tracy. How we doing today? And thank you guys so very much for being a part of this midday. I love you, and may God bless you in everything.